Welcome to Boys, episode 153. We're back.
Yeah.
And we made some upgrades, baby.
We made some slight. Maybe, you know what? I'm not even let you know what kind of changes we made.
It's theater of the mind. But before we get into this week's episode, I have to ask you something, Josh.
What's that?
Are you working for the weekend?
Okay, can I be honest? I don't know what that means.
I think it means that you're in a job that you don't care a lot about, and you're just working to make it to the weekend, so you have a little of that walking around money.
Okay, so it's not a misheard lyric, it's a misheard premise. When I was a kid and I first started working for the weekend, I thought it was, he's bummed because everybody's working for the weekend. He's off work.
Right.
Everybody else is working
for the weekend.
Yeah,
like for the whole weekend.
Yeah, they're working all weekend long. I'm like, well, that's a bummer. This guy's just hanging out by himself. All of his friends are working for the weekend.
And they all got mall jobs.
Yeah, they've all got mall jobs.
Poor guy.
No, they're bartenders or something.
I ask that because, as you know, I like to, I don't really post a lot on Instagram, but I like to look at Instagram.
Sure.
We like to explore our Explore tab. We like to look at things and body parts and all kinds of fun stuff.
If you were to put it on a scale, like not a Venn diagram, but a graph, what would be the highest percentage of when do you use Instagram the most?
When I'm shitting.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, shitting or waiting in line. Those are the two biggies.
What is that? Like, I can go into a place of business and there's a line. I tell myself, don't touch your phone yet. And then if you're there for a little bit, okay, and you pull it up, you do think like you're acting like you're checking like your texts at first. It's like, well, obviously let's get out of that. And I'm going to go back to Instagram. You know what I mean? Like you try to look like you're not getting on Instagram.
Yeah.
But you're totally getting on Instagram.
Well, the reason I ask if you're working for the weekend,
right,
is because I get a notification when I logged into Instagram the other day on a post I made about 3 weeks ago, which since then I've probably made, let's say, 2 more posts. I don't post a lot.
Yeah.
It was from the band Loverboy, the official Loverboy Instagram account.
Mm-hmm.
And they left a comment on one of my posts, and it said, "Ha ha, cool post. Hey, are you working for the weekend?" On a post that had nothing to do with working, weekends, lover boys, or anything.
Can I ask what the post was?
Yeah, let me look it up. It'll take me just a second, but
because I'm wondering. So, you get those a lot. You start getting spam. You're getting spam on your Instagram, like comments. I get it all the time. It's like, hey, interesting post.
Yeah. Or this shot is epic.
Yeah. Check out this link, blah, 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 for more blah, blah, blah. And I feel like that's what Loverboys is. It's probably their actual account, but they're just botting it.
They're botting themselves. Yeah. They're just botting it. It was on the picture I posted of the guy holding the rattlesnake from the Apache Rattlesnake Festival.
And they say, ha ha.
Actually, I take that back. It doesn't say ha ha. It just says simply, every first letter of every word is capitalized except the word you. Mm-hmm. So capital A, R, U, capital W, working, capital F, for, capital T, the, capital W, weekend, question mark, followed by 3 exclamation points.
That's a bot. They're botting themselves.
They are 100% spamming.
Yeah.
First of all, I couldn't name another Loverboy song, and I would go as far to say that no one can.
No.
Maybe one person that I know.
I'm going to say this.
Or have ever met.
Not only that, I don't think anyone owns or has ever owned any Loverboy material that wasn't on a compilation album of some sorts.
They've never sold a record.
Not a single record.
No.
And that's why they're botting Instagram.
A band that's been around for 34 years is botting me.
You have a public account?
No.
How did they get on your shit?
Or maybe I do. I don't know.
Did you?
How do I tell if I have a public account?
Was it one of those ambient like follows on Instagram?
No, yeah, I just got to follow Loverboy, Toto, all the classics.
I got to get them all in there.
Yeah, I got to get them. Culture Club.
That's
like, follow back.
That's creepy.
So weird.
It's weird.
And I was just like, man, what a fucking shot in the dark.
Yeah.
Like, and I wish there was a way, and there might be, if I could see their other posts to see if they're just copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste.
Yeah, there's no way to do that. You can't see where other people have commented.
There's a tab on Instagram where you can see you can see what your friends have liked, which I find that interesting and slightly arousing, to be frank.
Yeah,
because there's a few of you guys out there that I know that sure like them thought pics.
Yeah,
which I enjoy a good thought pic. I like butts.
Here's the thing. It's like,
cannot lie.
It's like pornographic, streaming porn. Of course, it's out there because people use it.
You're gonna hit that thumbs up button.
But once you comment on it, that's another thing. You can heart or like a thought pic. That's fine. But don't be the creep that comments like, you're the perfect specimen of a woman or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you see those kind of comments.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's one that's like, I want to come on your face.
Yeah. It's like, whoa, okay. Either one is creepy and weird.
Other spectrum, other side. Yeah.
Different degrees, but both weird.
Different degrees of creepy, for sure.
So yeah, that was a real good way to start my day, waking up from a message from Loverboy, my favorite band.
And I bet at first you're like, oh, that's cool.
No, I didn't at all. No, there was not a single moment where I thought that was cool.
It would be like if Korn, you find one from Korn and it's like, hey, do you got the life?
Or, hey, are you ready to buy our new album?
Link in the bio.
Link in the park. Too soon? He's back from the dead and he's tweeting. Oh my God. No, just kidding. So yeah, it's good to be back. We're going to get right to the show.
Yeah, man.
But I had to get that out of the way super, super quick.
That was funny.
But first, those wonderful ads that you hear week after week. I'm going to sing them this week. Boyspodcast.com. It's a hub of all things boys.
I thought you were doing Jim Morrison for a minute.
Go to boyspodcast.com. It's a hub of all things boys. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. There's a golden donate button. Hit it. You know the drill.
Boys is available on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Spotify. Spotify. Hey, we're on Spotify. Put us on a playlist. Or share with us on Spot. What's your favorite? Some jams. And we have a boys playlist. Check it out. We might put a song that you like on there. Maybe not. I don't know.
It's just going to be 80 covers of Workin for the Weekend.
Oh God, Loverboy is going to blow it up.
Yeah, dude. We're gonna. You know what? We're gonna give back to them. They're doing all the hard work. They're putting the hard work in.
Give a little bit back.
They're slamming their thumbs against their screens. Just hey, you working for the weekend?
Yeah.
Guess what? It paid off.
Holy shit! We got 1 million fucking streams this week. How'd that happen?
Well, they're all coming from Oklahoma and Texas. Weird.
Leave a review on iTunes. It helps us rise up the ranks to lower middle class on the iTunes. Yeah.
Right where we deserve to be.
Exactly.
Email us, boys@boyspodcast.com. Send us your feedback. Put your physical address in the bottom of the email. We'll send you some free stickers. You know the drill. You know this, man.
And you know this. Man. Pretty good Tucker.
Working on it.
Pretty decent Tucker. Working on that Tucker for the weekend. Thanks to our sponsors, Anthem Brewing, anthembrewing.com.
Drinking for the weekend.
I've been drinking a lot lately, man.
Have you?
Not to excess, but I've been drinking every day.
More often.
I've had at least a beer every day.
Yeah, it's all right.
But not like 5%. It's like a beer.
Or what kind of beer?
Anthem beer, man. Anthem IPA today is what it is. Anthem.com. Check them out. Fat Bison, fatbison.com. I got to say something about Fat Bison.
Let's hear it.
A little personal story.
A little quip.
A little, what do they call that when you do the infomercial and it's a user?
A testimonial?
A testimonial.
All right. User review. Here we go.
I got to put my hands on that bison.
Ooh.
He made a table and benches for my family, my mom and my father, and I was at my mom's, and he hand-delivered that shit. He brought it over. I helped him inside the house. He ain't fucking around. This guy doesn't make just decent signs, great signs. That furniture is...
Furniture.
Great furniture.
Trinkets.
My mom freaked. She was excited.
She
Trinkets,
loved it?
signs, yeah. And his prices, they're out of this world.
Oh my gosh.
So hit him up at fatbison.com. Champion Vintage OKC on Instagram. She's got some great stuff. Trying to get it out to get the new stuff in. Seasons are changing.
Mm-hmm.
Summertime coming.
Mm-hmm.
Get you some shit.
Get your lover boy t-shirt. She's got like 80 of them.
And it all just, are you working for the weekend? Question mark.
Lastly, thank you for the donations, the feedback, the telling of a friend. You know the drill. I'm just saying that. I don't know why I keep saying you know the drill, but you know the drill.
Maybe they don't, though. Maybe this is someone's first episode.
Maybe. And if it is, thank you for listening. We really appreciate you. We appreciate listeners, young, old, new, elder, everybody in between. And we're just going to get right to the show. We're skipping the fucking theme song this week because I played it at the beginning of the show. I got to start out with a story.
Yeah.
So last week, I'm driving my car.
Yes.
I pull in to an on queue to get some gas. I get my gas. And let me ask you this before I get into my story.
Sure.
Are you the type of guy that gets the gas and then leaves your car at the pump if you need to go into on queue? Or do you pull your car up to the parking spots?
That's a very good question, Rob. I am a pump parker.
Okay.
And I feel guilty about it every time because I know, well, what if someone needs to get back? I'm getting gas, bitch. I got here first. It's my spot.
Yeah, now I got to go in and get a coffee.
Coffee, or maybe I'm paying cash for this round because I've like, well, I wanted to get a Rooster Booster or whatever, a beverage. But I don't want to put that on my card too, so I'm just gonna pay cash for everything. Go in and do that. So I'm a pump parker.
Okay. With me, it depends. It depends on if it's busy. If it's super busy, a super busy time of day, I will move my car. Only because I've been reprimanded about it.
Really?
Yeah, like, hey, go ahead and move your car.
Well, wait, have you already pumped gas?
Yeah, I pumped the gas.
Well, if I pump the gas, then yeah, I'll usually try to find a pump that's right in front of a spot.
You just roll on up.
Roll right on up. Now, if I haven't pumped yet, I'll park at the pump, go inside, pay for it, run in, come back out. I have been known to start pumping and then go in. They say you're not supposed to do that.
Never leave a gas pump unattended.
Never leave a gas pump unattended.
Not responsible for spills.
It's on the site. It's right there. It's emblazoned.
Plain as day, dude.
Plain as day. But I've done it. Everyone's done it.
I've done it.
Yeah.
Or they also say don't get back in your car. And when it's cold outside...
Fuck that, I'm getting that car, man.
But I always make sure to touch some metal before I go back around to the gas pump. Decharge myself.
Well, didn't you hear about, didn't it happen to Bret Michaels or the dude from Motley Crue? He got back in his car.
Got bald?
And both. And he blew the pump up. It was either from the static electricity or he got on his phone or something. They tell you that too. Don't get on your phone by the gas pump. Like, sending a text is going to...
That might be my third most used Instagram or phone usage is at the gas pump. Because, ain't like I drive a big dually that has like 2 30-gallon tanks, but any time at the gas pump is too much time.
Yeah.
How have they not invented a better method of administering gas than something that looks like it's from the 30s? Well,
I'll take it a step further. Why are we still using fossil fuels for our vehicles? That's ridiculous.
I don't know.
However, yeah. So you're like, okay. And you would think when you're a kid and you had to like pull that side latch up for it and then pump. I get why it took forever because it's like there's a hamster running through a cage and that's what's pushing the gas up.
Yeah, they're little tiny demons pushing out the faxes.
What was that from? SNL?
Frozen Caveman Lawyer. Unfrozen Caveman Lawyer.
I'm just a caveman.
What was the theme song?
He used to be a caveman and now he's a lawyer. Unfrozen Caveman Lawyer.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, love that.
Great show.
Yeah. Gas pumps are so antiquated.
Yeah. It takes forever to pump.
Put that down. Yeah. I'm on the record saying that.
Yeah.
So I'm getting gas. I pull up to my spot. I run inside to get me a soda.
Sure.
And a Bear Claw.
You're a gas station snackman.
I am, dude. I love gas station snacks.
Is it just a hunger inside? It's you just
There's a hunger.
You can't deny it. Like when you go into a gas station, can you leave without getting a snack?
Yeah, I can, but I usually don't.
It's hard.
Dude, there's so many options, especially since Oklahoma started to get these on queues.
Yeah.
We were behind the times on our gas station snack selection.
7-Eleven was the top of the game.
And that sucks.
Yeah, 7-Eleven. Have you gone back into a 7-Eleven since an on queue and been like, oh?
I have gone back. Ugh. They are like upping their game though.
Oh, they're trying to get fancy at that 7-Eleven.
Some of the new 7-Elevens are kind of fancy. But on queue, dude, the drink selection, the snack selection, your tornado selection.
Yeah,
all of
the hot bars where it's at, the
hot
spinners.
dogs, dude. You got hot dogs.
You got donuts. They got an espresso machine in there now.
You got it all. You got it all.
Yeah.
So I go in, I get my Bear Claw, I get my Pepsi, 32 ounce light ice. I walk back to my car. I get in, I start my car. I pull around and I'm like trying to get out of the parking lot. And I see a young couple arguing at the gas pump. Let me set the scene for you.
Okay.
They're pumping gas into a Mini Cooper. A nice car. But they both look like they stole that Mini Cooper. They were just like, well, how do I say it? They were just both very trashy looking.
Okay.
I was like, man, where'd you get that car?
Okay. It was obvious. It took you aback.
Well, it was just like, last week we talked about our emo phase. We went through our grunge phase. I think these kids were in their grunge phase. They must have been 16, 17 years old.
Okay.
The young man was wearing a Led Zeppelin shirt and a flannel and some like nasty jeans. And the girl just, she's just one of those girls that had like the tube top with the little tummy sticking out, big curly hair. They were both smoking cigarettes.
At the gas pump.
Yeah, right.
Not to do that. Not do that.
Add that to the list.
Yeah.
They were arguing. And so when I backed out of my spot to go by, I like took my time.
Yeah, you do a little peek.
I felt like I was watching a play.
Did you crack the window to maybe get a little audio?
Didn't need to.
Oh,
they were yelling
that loud?
They were yelling at each other so loud that I didn't even need to. I could clearly make out. And I was pretty close to him. I was probably 15 feet away from him. And she was like, "You don't even love me anymore." And he goes, "You don't even know what love is." I thought for a second that it was, what do they used to call that? Flash mob?
Yeah.
I thought it was like a flash mob
and
of
there's
like,
gonna be like people coming out dancing
of two drama kids.
Yeah, or they'll start dancing to "I wanna know what love is."
Totally.
Yeah.
And and the girl is whipping her hair around and being super dramatic, just like, and he was puffing his cigarette angrily and screaming at her. So I saw the start of it, I saw the escalation, and then I saw the resolve.
What was the resolve?
As I was driving by, he grabbed her around the waist, pulled her in, dipped her, and French kissed her with a cigarette in his hand.
That seems a little like set up. Like, dude, it was a play. Like it was a live public performance.
Set up or not, there's a lot going on here.
A lot going on
at the pump.
There. Yeah.
It was so insane. And I love when things like that happen. Like, do you ever find yourself just in a moment? It could be anywhere. It could be in line at a restaurant. It could be at the grocery store. It could be at a gas pump where you're like, what did I do to deserve this?
Yeah.
Like, this is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And since I'm a co-host of a moderately successful podcast, anytime something like that happens, I'm like, going on the list.
Going on the list.
It's going on the list,
dude, like,
baby.
Things like that, I don't really get a whole lot of pump. I do like watching people at the pump. You don't want to make too much, like the guy who gets right next to you. You don't rule. This is the unwritten rule. It's not on the pump. Don't make eye contact with the person next to you.
Then why do they design the pumps where it's that perfect Wilson from Home Improvement? You can see right through the top of the pump, and you always lock eyes with like a 300-pound bald man.
Hey, you ever like,
hey, what are you doing?
Pumping out? Me too.
Getting gas. Yeah. All right. See you later. It's so weird.
It's so awkward.
And they're designed to where you kind of face each other.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you, but when I get gas, I kick that leg up and lean against my car like 80s style.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'm a fucking Ramon.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll hold on to get that last little bit out.
And then you get that 80s leg up. And then you're on your phone in your other hand. Cigarette in mouth.
Cigarette in mouth.
Getting back in your car.
Getting back in and out of the car.
It's so wonderful when those sorts of things happen for many reasons. This one was no exception. It was so entertaining. I was like, man, Avengers ain't got shit on this.
No.
It's wonderful. I want those things to happen more in my life. However, there's a thin line between being an innocent bystander and being entangled in a mess.
Being in it.
because as I drove by these kids, the dude realized that I was watching them, and he like barrel chested me. He like bucked up. Like,
now he's got to defend her honor.
Yeah, because he reclaimed his lady, his maiden, and he like puffed up his chest and like gave me this dirty look, almost like, "What are you looking at, old man?" I laughed. Now, I'm not a tough guy.
Sure.
I'm not a fighter.
But you're in the protection of your vehicle.
I run him over. I kill him. I run him over and his cigarette.
Yeah.
But yeah, he gave me this look like
I'm going to kick your ass.
What are you looking at? Yeah. And I just laughed and drove off, and he like kind of like lunged at my car when I drove by.
Oh, one of those.
Not in a like, I'm going to fuck you up, but just like, what, dude? What's this? What is this move called?
Do something.
Do something.
Yeah.
Do something.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of move.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, right.
But you said he's probably like 17.
He's probably 16, 17.
Which explains the crazy high-low of the whole encounter of, what the, you don't even know what love is. I fucking love you.
Yeah.
Then make out. Like
He's dynamite waiting to explode. Just a ball of energy.
Do you recall that? I mean, I had a high school girlfriend. You were involved in this story. It's back in the days of pagers. I think we were riding from Choctaw to the mall or going somewhere. And I get a page, and it's from I think she was just ex-girlfriend. I was like, I gotta call her. So we go to this gas station. I put my quarter in the phone.
Back before it was 35 cents, and now 50 cents, and now don't exist.
I call her, and you guys have the door open. You're listening to this conversation. I'm like, what's up? Blah, blah, blah. And with this whole thing. And I think mine ended in, don't tell me you love me.
Oh.
You remember that? And you guys are in the background, don't tell me you love me.
Yeah. I
like,
totally remember
God,
that.
And it's like, and then go home. Just being a teenager fucking sucks. Like, it's, in retrospect, you can look back and go, A, what the fuck was I thinking? B, man, just being filled with all that testosterone or estrogen. You're filled with all these fucking things telling you to fuck.
And they're all butting heads.
Oh, anger, love for something, horniness, passion for everything. Fucking punk rock anarchy, or my girlfriend fucked love rock. I hate my dad. Like, you know, like,
oh yeah, angst.
It's all there in a melting pot, and you're just a whirlwind of emotion.
Oh yeah, dude.
And they were experiencing that at the gas pump.
You're totally right. It's so interesting. As I get older, I feel like I've really leveled out. Like, I'm just who I am. Mm-hmm. I don't really have high highs and low lows. Like, I enjoy things.
Sure.
I don't enjoy some things, but it's like I think I'm a pretty even keel guy.
That's the exact word I was about to come out of my mouth to describe you. Pretty even keeled person.
But when I was 17, no way, dude. I was a real piece of work.
When you're 17, we've all heard of the phrase burning bridges. When you're 17, you're not aware that there's even a street, but you're burning bridges left and right as a teenager that haven't even been built yet because of your erratic behavior. And I'm sure there were tons of teenagers who were just even killed kids.
Yeah.
You know?
I knew a few. I knew a few friends that were like pretty chill.
Yeah.
I was not one of them.
Well, they're the ones who like, they did the, I'm going to take the classes at Rose State while I'm a junior. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, nerd? Mm-hmm. Even killed. Whole way. And then, you know, they end up chopping up bodies and putting them in a bag and going to prison.
Yeah.
Happens.
It does happen.
Or you just go fucking crazy. I don't know, man.
I'm glad I leveled out.
Yeah.
Super glad about
leveling
that.
out is important. It keeps you sane. But what every now and then I'll get the thought of, I haven't gotten angry in a long time. I've not gone either way with emotion. I haven't been like super crazy happy or super mad or angry, or I've just kind of been somewhere in the middle. I'm like, maybe it's good to have that. And maybe that's why we have action movies or horror movies or romantic comedy, like things to give the illusion of those feelings so you can put yourself in those scenarios without actually experiencing them.
Yeah, like you watch a horror movie and you're like afraid for the character's life, but you're not afraid for your own life.
Right.
Like, but you get that little tingle.
It scratches the itch of fear.
Right.
Or anger. Like if you watch a movie, you know, something that's like the movie Detropia or like American History X, like you get angry at like then fuck those guys.
Yeah.
But you're not going to go out and like punch anybody or get in a fight or anything.
Yeah.
You're being even killed. You're going to eat your popcorn, your 32-ounce cola beverage.
Yeah.
Get back in your car, maybe get some gas.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to hurt anybody.
Go along with your day.
Yeah. What else are you going to do?
I think about that all the time. I know a lot of people who are angry a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the things they're angry about, rightfully so. Some things they're angry about, I may or may not disagree with or agree with. And that's fine. Everybody's, entitled to their opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's no secret that we live in an outrage culture right now.
We live in an angry world. I mean, it gets
so
thrown
much
around
anger.
Like there's so much. And I know a lot of it's probably just. At first, I thought it's just TV propaganda. They're blowing shit up. And when you start seeing it in real life,
mm-hmm.
you can't help but be like, well, okay, yeah, it's there. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because of our president. I don't care. I don't know if it's because maybe we don't have a lot of tension and haven't had tension in a while. And now just any little thing that we can fucking gravitate to that causes that to feel something.
Yeah. Well, can I be honest for a second? So, I didn't vote for Trump. I'm not a Trump fan.
Yeah.
I'm not a Trump supporter. But at this point, when I see somebody on Twitter like, Trump's a fucking idiot, I'm just like, ugh. We get it.
I mean, as long as
I get it.
If you follow it up with like some sort of fact or did, you know what I mean? Like he did this today, blah, blah, blah. Great. I get it. Like apparently a veteran was just pardoned by Trump for killing somebody in war, but apparently he was actually murdered the guy, blah, blah, blah. Someone made this long post explaining why that was fucked up for him to do. I get that. Explain yourself. Don't just get angry for the sake of being angry and misplaced anger. I think that's what we're dealing with a lot. Misplaced a lot of things.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, a lot of it is justified.
Of course.
But I don't think I would go as far as to say I don't think most of it is. I think maybe half and half.
I think maybe we could do everyone a service, the whole world a service if we just when we feel something, and this is going to sound totally like hippie new age psychology thing, but when you start feeling that like that initial warmth of anger dwelling up inside of you, take a step. What is it that's making me angry? What can I do about this anger? Is it really necessary for me to explode on the world, or can I just do another thing to, I guess, negate that anger?
Right. Balance it out.
Balance it out. Keep it even keeled, man. I'm not saying to be a fucking pushover and be like,
no.
Let
and
people
stand
steadfast to your beliefs. I'm 100% for that.
Yeah, Aaron Tippin said it best. 90s country legend. You got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything.
True.
You've got to be your own man, not a puppet on a string. When I was a kid, I thought he said, you've got to be your own man, not a puppy on a string, which also makes sense. Like, a dog on a leash.
Yeah.
But I was like, who calls it a string? Hey, I'm going to take my dog for a walk. I need to find my string.
You know who does? Dave Matthews. No, never mind. That's a misheard lyric.
Okay. What was that one?
There's a song called What Would You Say? And it's like, oh, what would you say? And I was like, if you were a doggy on a string. But it's chain, which makes far more sense.
Yes.
Well, I'm just wondering.
Don't bite the man. That's good Matthews.
Yeah.
A little baby.
There you go.
I don't want to get political, but I don't know, man. You see so much of it, and it's just like, I just feel tired. Like, I feel tired of that as much as I'm tired of the injustices and the things that are wrong.
I feel, it feels like I'm being squished. Okay, it's like being in an elevator, and you get in an elevator with somebody, and someone's like, hey, man, you agree with a lot of things they're saying, like, hey, man, blah, blah, blah. And then another guy gets in, and they're against that, and like, okay, well, we're fine. There's just three of us here. It's okay. Right. And you get rid of it, and you squash your beefs. It's a long elevator ride, and then it starts getting more and more people squished, and then before you know it, you're just like squished in between all these people. Like, dude, I feel weighed down by both sides of it, and I'm somewhere in the middle, And I feel like there's no room in the middle anymore.
No, everything's polarized. We discussed this,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a lot of people that are like, well, like, not doing anything is the worst thing you can do. And I'm like, is it really worse than disagreeing with you? Like, isn't being on the other side of the argument worse than just being like, you guys fight it out?
Yeah, I mean, something's got to be done about society, but I think it's, maybe I'm just, what do you call it? Jaded? Or maybe I just watched too many conspiracy theory videos where I think it's also, it's already set. Like, the system works how the system works, and there's really nothing we can do about it. We can change things on a small scale, like locally.
Right.
But that shit, it doesn't matter who's in office. Shit's going to be the way it is. And maybe, I mean, my conspiracy theory mindset is that this is happening for a reason. They're wanting us to fight amongst ourselves. They're splitting up. I mean, the Democratic Party is split. Again, we never talk politics, so if this is your first time listening, this is not what we do.
Right.
But, so the Democrats, we're fighting amongst ourselves over petty, really, at the end of the day, petty shit in compared to world hunger, the fact that most people in our country are broke as fuck and can't afford to fucking eat, you know? It's like, we should probably refocus our energies. It's like, not the Avengers, but, I don't know, let's just say, like, there's got to be some sort of comic book where it's like, hey, we got to put our shit aside and fight together so we can win this thing. And then when we're done with that, then maybe we can start parceling out our individual differences.
I agree.
Got to be on the team.
If you spend all your time with these little things, like, the big issues are never going to get resolved.
No.
And the infighting is totally what detracts from the bigger picture, the bigger issues.
And that's what the government wants. They want you to fight amongst yourselves over the little tiny things because they don't want you to know that 5G is coming. 5G is coming and it's going to kill your children. It's going to kill your grandparents.
Can I be honest, though, dude? I've heard that from a lot of people. Like,
5G?
That's bad.
Oh, 5G is extremely bad.
It's, like, dangerous. So, and again, I'm not going to take to the internet and be like, oh, fuck it. But it's like, I'm going to read more about it and, like, educate myself because it doesn't sound too peachy right now.
No, well, they have to put the things up every block, and they put out so much radiation. It's insane.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I don't know. Could be the end real soon.
Or it could all be a myth.
Or you know what? Joe Rogan says, like, or a fucking meteor could just plummet into our planet and we all die.
Dude, that's what I think about all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, trying to be a little healthier, trying to be nicer, trying to be more positive, trying to be happier. And I'm like, well, but in the blink of an eye, it could all be gone.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
What do you think? Because I think the reason why I've gravitated towards conspiracy theory kind of things goes back to growing up Christian and having a fire and brimstone preacher who, didn't care that there were children in the audience and would say things like, tonight, you could drive home with your family, your kids, and a semi-truck and just slam into you in the blink of an eye. You're gone. I'm
yeah.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Mortality. Thinking about mortality at 6 years old?
100%.
Okay, great. So
it's
now,
scary.
Or the other side of that is he can come like a thief in the night. Jesus can come back at any time.
Blink of an eye.
Blink of an eye. Do you know where you're going to be? You know what you're going to be doing? He could take you away. Or you could be left behind.
Or you could be cast into the lake of fire.
All that just...
Will you burn forever?
So much...
Oh, so scary.
Much anger in all that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. But maybe that's why I... It's not that I have a fear of death. It's just that I know that it's coming. I mean, it doesn't matter where it's going to come. And that's why you hear people infighting and talking a bit, like, arguing amongst themselves about little things like, dude, you will die someday. What's most important to you? Is this really the hill you want to die on? Right. That's why I love that saying people say that. Yeah. It's not the hill I want to die on. It's a battle I will fight, but I'm not going to die on that hill.
I don't want to die on any hill. You know why? Mm-hmm. When you drop dead, you're just going to roll down the hill.
That's true.
I want to die in a valley.
Because you're there.
I want to die in the bottom of the ocean.
That would be fun. You'd implode.
Yeah, you
Or you could just like suck in a bunch of water and then die. I don't know.
Drowned?
Yeah. I think dying in the depthness of the ocean and the vastness of space would be pretty similar.
I never thought about that.
I'll think about it a lot.
I know you do.
I would love to die in space.
Really?
If I was told, Josh, you literally, there's no, maybe you can beat it. If you have a brain tumor and you are going to die in 15 days, which is not a thing doctors say. They usually say, a year or whatever.
6 months to live.
6 months to live. I would go, great. I'm going to have a hell of a time on this planet while I have it. And then I want to spend the last 24 hours in space. I want to see it. And then I'm going to go, peace out. I'm going to open the hatch.
And jump.
And just... Because, well, one, space isn't real. But, no. I think that'd be an epic way of going out. I mean, why not?
Do doctors arrange that sort of thing? Is there a Make-A-Wish for old people like us?
There should be. There should be. I mean, that's what Kevorkian did. I mean, he helped you kill yourself.
Yeah.
Which he was all... Remember when we were... I keep saying, remember we were kids. But he was in the news all the time for, assisted suicide, and they made him out to be this demon. Like, no. Those people asked him, as a doctor, assist me in leaving this fucking shitty planet that I don't want to die miserably on. Help me out.
Dude.
Give me a handout.
I just got a flashback of the first time I heard Dr. Kevorkian's name. And then, you'd hear that in the news. Like, for a while, he was like this taboo subject that was in the news quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I just got a flashback of, like, being scared of just that name.
Oh, yeah. Well, he was a scary-looking guy, too.
He was creepy. He's dead now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is he? Is he dead?
Oh, yeah. He was old back then.
Okay.
I think he died, like, 10 years ago or something.
But I remember hearing, like, assisted suicide, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Wasn't he just a murderer?
No.
Well, no. He just creates the devices that the people flip the switch or whatever.
Well, it's a...
And I thought it was maybe some sort of like Root and Goldberg contraption or something.
Like a Rube, yeah.
Is it Rube Goldberg?
Rube Goldberg, yeah. I thought about that too. Like, what does he do? Does he do they sit down on like a bed, and then he pulls a domino or drops a domino, and then a ball goes through, and like a fucking game of mousetrap.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's usually just a real humane way of doing it. That might have been because I think, well, maybe around that time. When was that? Like the early 90s?
I want to say early 90s.
We had a weird fascination, maybe not we, but the film industry had a weird fascination with Rube Goldberg contraptions. They were in like everything.
Like what? Like, explain that to me.
Okay, so the beginning of every fucking movie almost seemed to have a Rube Goldberg contraption. Pee-wee's Big Adventure opens up, a Rube Goldberg contraption making his breakfast.
That's right. Yes.
Back to the Future. There's a Rube Goldberg contraption that feeds the dog, and it fucks up.
That's right.
Let's see. What else is there?
Would Kevin's house from Home Alone just be a huge Rube Goldberg?
Yeah.
Am I saying it right? Rube Goldberg.
Rube Goldberg, yeah.
They're everywhere. I mean,
and the game Mousetrap.
Mousetrap is
It's just a big
and
Rube Goldberg.
There was another game called Marble Madness. Where there's little plastic pipes you build together to make Rube Goldberg contraptions, and everyone loves it. When I was a kid, I thought it was the coolest thing.
Oh, yeah.
But then as an adult, you go, that's so much work for one little... Just make the goddamn pancakes.
Yeah. Or I'll take it a step further. Dominoes.
Yeah.
Waste of time.
Yeah.
You're setting up all these dominoes.
You ever do it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Did
in
it ever work out?
retrospect... No. It would always like one... I would hit that angle a little too hard, and one wouldn't hit the next one, and I was like... Nothing more depressing than walking across the floor to re-up your domino fall.
Give another tap. Because then it's not real. It just didn't work. You didn't... If you get your physics correct, you can make it work. But when you're 9 years old, you don't know how far to space them out together to make them hit. And
9-year-olds don't know shit about physics.
We don't know shit. We love the way it looks cool.
Yeah.
But come on, man.
Do you remember Domino Alley?
I do.
Wasn't that... No. Was it Domino Alley? Am I getting it confused with Fireball Alley?
Are you talking about... There's a game where there's... Are you talking about that?
It was like... Yeah, it was like a domino...
But they were little flaps. They weren't dominoes. They were connected to the board, kind of
right.
thing.
They were like on a little track.
So yeah, what was with that? And before
cashing in on...
before that, did we know this Rube Goldberg? What made him popular?
Domino Rally.
Domino Rally.
That's what it was called. I wanted that so bad.
Yeah.
Because they were on like a little track, so you could just like tilt it and they would all go click into place, and then you'd put it together, And then, but I want to say it was a little Rubish. I think there were a few little things like the
Oh, there
domino
might
would
have
hit a
been.
marble that would go down a little thing.
Well, that's
into
the
the
thing with
next marble.
Mousetrap. I wanted the game Mousetrap so bad.
Did you ever in your life play a successful game of Mousetrap?
No.
Yeah.
We
same.
played the game of building the board.
Yep.
And then
And
you put the marble in the bathtub.
Uh-huh.
There's a whole song for it. Put the marble in the tub and the
And then the guy jumps into the pool.
yeah, and like
right?
a boot goes like bloop and
Yep.
does a thing like. But you don't play the game.
I set that game up 30 times. Never once
Neri once played it.
started it.
I played Marble Madness, but I didn't play the game. We just made these weird, crazy pipes and just started throwing shit in them.
What was with that? The wonder of that. I guess it was just simpler times. Like if you showed
Time consuming, yeah.
a 7-year-old kid now Mousetrap, do you think they would think it's cool? They have fucking iPads, dude. Are they going to think that that's like pushing a circle down the road with a stick?
Yeah. Kicking a can.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Like, some kids will. Like, I think my nephew's one of those weird kids. I love him to death. But he's definitely one of those kids who love building things. He loves old Nintendo games. He has an iPad. He only plays Fortnite on.
Right.
But yeah, he loves building shit. So he might be into building the game Mousetrap. Now, once you tell him the rules of the game, which I have no idea what they are, he might be like, fuck this game. Why would I want to play this
Yeah,
game?
this is a bunch of work.
Yeah.
But then again, I remember that feeling when I would go to my grandma's when I was a little boy. She had an old, and I mean, they were probably my father's, set of Lincoln logs.
Oh, yeah.
And they were in this like round tube container.
Mm-hmm.
And there were a bunch of Lincoln logs. There were like the green wooden slats you'd use for a roof. You'd have your long logs, you'd have your medium logs, and you'd have these little short logs. And
Yeah,
you
and
could
have like
make
a little divot.
Yeah, you could make a little cabin. There would be a little chimney you could put on top. And I remember being a kid and being like, these are boring. I want to play Nintendo.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that as just like bell curved way up.
Yeah, like connects. Like, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I think our generation, there's a generation right before ours, not older, much older than us, that was still popular. So when they came out with Connects and like Lego's still a thing, but Lego has stopped really doing the giant pieces, and it's more just one little tiny thing you can build. It's a spaceship. It's a car. It's a blah blah blah.
Oh man, was I a Lego maniac though?
That was a thing. A Lego maniac.
I loved Legos.
Now,
dude.
did you buy like themed? Did they have themed Lego things when we were kids? Did they have like a Star Wars Lego set?
Yeah, well, yes and no. I mean, when I was really into Legos, they had like pirates,
Yeah,
space.
but it wasn't
Technics.
like a brand. It wasn't like
No, it wasn't like
Ninja Turtle-
licensed. Yeah.
nothing licensed.
At least in the beginning, maybe later on. But when I had Legos, I've actually went back and looked at my old Lego sets. Like I had this one set I got for Christmas one year, and I was so jazzed, dude. I was so excited. It was called the Black Monarch's Castle.
Jesus, that sounds fucking dark, like
Right?
goth,
like metal.
metal. Yeah,
Yeah. And it was this big castle with like tons of knights and little horses and jousting and all this stuff. And
a lot of pieces you can lose.
Oh, it was even back then in 80s money. I think I looked it up. I think it was like $140.
That's so much money in the 80s.
That's a
That's a lot of money now.
That's a lot of 80s
For
money.
parents,
For
yeah.
a kid, yeah,
Yeah.
for a 5-year-old kid.
yeah. That's your one Christmas present that year.
Oh yeah, that was it. And then the next year, I was still a Lego maniac, and I got a pirate ship. And that one was dope. It was big. And there were like cannons that would actually fire Legos. There were sharks
Yeah,
and monkeys,
I remember that.
palm trees.
And it came on it had like a blue platform for the water, right?
Yeah. I had that one the next year. And man, I mean, I will say this though. Yes, they were expensive for my parents, but I got a lot of miles out of those bricks.
Did you build them to their specificity? Did you actually build them the way they? Okay.
Do you think I didn't?
I didn't.
I
Anytime I
did.
got one of those, I'd be like, I would start it. And I'm like, I'm gonna build my own thing, and I'd build this thing that sucks because you don't have enough. They only allow you a certain number of pieces in that thing.
Were you ever a Lego maniac?
I wasn't really a Lego maniac. I was a Lego. What would be a good word for that? I dabbled. I was a Lego dabbler.
Lego dabbler.
Lego dabbler. I didn't jump all in,
Dude.
But I would play from time to time.
I had them. I had like, those like Rubbermaid tubs that we all use for like storage of old t-shirts and stuff these days, or, cables or whatever.
Like a band merch tub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had probably 4 of those full of Legos.
Like loose
Legos.
Oh.
So many loose Legos.
Okay, here's how little of Legos that I did. I had a little Lego box. It was a Lego branded box.
Mm-hmm. Was it like like a little suitcase looking box that had
like
a little
thick plastic, and it had textured, and you pop it open, and that's how many Legos you get, and that's it.
That's all you had.
That's all I had.
Oh wow! I had 2 of those boxes, one big blue one, and then one that was slightly smaller that was red. And those are my walking around Legos.
That's your extra Legos. Those are the ones you can add to something.
That was usually where I kept the projects I was working on, because I would create these like massive creations of Legos, like cities. I would make Lego cities, and I would make little cars, and I would make airplanes. My favorite thing to make, my favorite thing to make with Legos was?
What's that?
A barge.
A barge.
I would just I love
like a boat with no, like the flat.
Just a big barge.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what a barge was, but it sounded good. A Lego barge. And I'd have like my captain, and I'd maybe make some like Lego guns, and I had a barge, man.
This is a weaponized barge.
Yeah, this was pre Ninja Turtles. Probably around the same time as G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Post Masters of the Universe.
See, that's what I did with my Legos. I would start building things for my G.I. Joes or Ninja Turtles, like a fort or, something of that nature.
Yeah.
But you were a Lego maniac.
Dude, I was.
Do you remember the Lego maniac? It was like a logo. It was like a bunny, wasn't it? Like a yellow bunny. There was like a little...
I don't know if I remember the logo.
It almost looked like the Playboy bunny, but it was Lego.
When you bought Legos, it would come with your instruction manual, like a little small little like fold, like a little zine almost.
Yeah, a Lego zine.
And then it would come with either a fold up poster or like a little Lego catalog.
Yeah.
And dude, I used to look at that and daydream about, if I could just get that spaceship.
Right.
Oh man, I'd be out of the barge business. I'd be going straight to the moon.
I'm out of the barge business.
Dude, Legos might have been my favorite toy of all time.
Really?
What was yours?
Favorite toy of all time?
Looking back at your childhood, what was the toy? What sticks out in the mind? What was your favorite, most coveted toy?
Well, it wasn't. It was a group of toys. It would be my Ninja Turtle toys, man. Like I played with those the most. Now, if you want to go with just a singular toy,
well, no, it could be a collection.
My Nerf gun. Yeah. It was a Nerf crossbow.
Oh yeah, I remember very much wanting. I never really had Nerf guns. I might have had like a little pistol or something.
Yeah,
but I had some friends who had like the bandoliers with all the Nerf on it, and like my friend didn't. What was his name? Chris. He didn't have the crossbow, but he had the bow and arrow.
Yeah,
and it was like you'd pull it back, and like the pneumatic pressure.
Yeah,
would push the dart or whatever. And I never went hard with that. However, when Super Soakers were introduced,
Super Soakers changed the summer game for boys and girls around the world.
Dude, Super Soakers might have been the best invention of our childhood.
Yeah.
Legos were already around. Mm-hmm. Action figures were already around. Mm-hmm. Video games, by and large, have been invented.
Sure. Yeah.
But when you upgraded from the cheap, clear pink
pistol, they used to like take the butt off and then dunk it under some water.
And you'd pull the butt out
with your teeth.
Yeah. And then you'd fill it, but the water wouldn't go in because the stopper T
so you'd dunk it under some water and let it bubble, and it would never fill all the way. No.
And you'd shoot it, and it goes, and it would leak all over your hand.
Oh yeah.
But dude, when I got my Super Soaker 50, your classic yellow and green, with the white barrel and the orange tip, because you got to put an orange tip on a Super Soaker,
so you know that it's not a real gun. I've always thought about getting that original Super Soaker 50 tattooed. Like, it might be a little cheesy. It could turn out real snake pity.
Just get a Super Soaker 50. Yeah. Get on eBay and get one.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking this modern bullshit.
No, I want a legit Super Soaker.
Back in our day,
Where you have to put the sticker on. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in our day, they didn't take batteries.
No, they take batteries now?
I think some do, yeah.
That's like a self-propelled mower. Push your own mower.
So I had the 50.
Yeah.
A friend of mine had the 100, which was a little bit bigger. And every time my mom or dad took me to the store, like let's say Target, Walmart, Venture.
Mostly Venture.
Yeah. I was a Venture kid.
Me too.
I loved Venture. The black and white motif.
I loved it.
They had a great video game section.
Yeah. They always did a blue light special.
The first time I ever saw a Super Nintendo was in a Venture, and I was playing Mario World on one of those little stand-up kiosks.
Yeah.
And man, I was just in love. Like I was just like, this is the coolest store ever.
I was a huge fan of those. I mean, would you call that a department store?
I mean, it's just like a Target.
I loved those.
I don't. It's just a store. It's a store.
Big fan of going there.
But every time we went there, I'd be like, can I please get a bigger Super Soaker? I just got this 50, which looking back was
the 50 wasn't a pump.
You pumped it.
Okay.
Yeah, and it had the one green tank on top. I think it was green anyways.
Mm-hmm.
No like reserve tank or anything. Just your classic Super Soaker 50. And then my friend got the 100, and we'd have our water gun fights, which were awesome and not dangerous. When you're shooting a Super Soaker into somebody's face from 3 feet away, you're basically shooting your friend with a pressure washer.
Yeah.
In the face. That would sting.
Yeah.
And then
that's too much.
The summer after, Mom came through in a big, big way, and I got the Super Soaker 1000.
That's exactly what I thought you were going to say. That's the gun, man. I'm looking it up right now.
That had a fucking backpack, dude.
Yeah.
I had a backpack of water I was carrying around. And I believe it was like a what is that called? A chain gun, like in Doom, where it had a lever on top and you pulled the lever back to shoot it.
Like a hose, like a fucking...
It had different settings. It had like almost like a hose attachment where you'd have like your fan, your spray, or like a spurt, almost like you're playing fucking Contra or something.
Did you ever make a holster for your Super Soaker?
No.
I made not a holster, but I tied like rope around the part where the trigger is.
Okay, like a shoulder strap.
Yeah, and I would put a rope there, and I would have it, for my Super Soaker 200, the double barreled with the...
Oh, you had the 200?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I had the 50, the 100, and the 200. Never really got to go above that.
What a wonderful toy for kids.
Great.
Dude. And I remember my dad be like, don't you over tighten that tank, because the little O-ring would wear out. And then, man,
leak everywhere.
The saddest day of a summer is when your Super Soaker started to leak and it didn't keep the pressure. Dude, then what are you going to do? Go back to those wimpy ass clear plastic that you get in like a 5-pack?
Yeah.
Suck city.
Those fucking Dollar Tree shitters.
Yeah.
Have you thought about like going to a Target and buying a new bitchin' Super Soaker?
I
Just
haven't.
to see what it's like.
I haven't. However, now that I have a kid around, walking, you know how long it had been since I walked through a toy section?
Oh, I do. Well, I have a nephew and niece, so I do it all the time. Yeah.
Dude, I just didn't do it for years and years and years. I'd gloss right by and go to the electronics or, go get some dog food or whatever.
What I found is there's some newer things where I'm like, what the fuck is that? But then I think, oh, all that is a Tamagotchi.
Yeah.
It's your version of a Tamagotchi. Like my niece wanted a Hatchimals. Like, it's just a thing in an egg.
Yep.
What is that? I'm like, well, that's all a troll was or a
totally
Gigapet or whatever. It's all the same fucking thing.
Dude, they're just, and it was the same thing. Your parents thought the same thing when we were kids.
Why?
Yeah.
It's a keychain, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a keychain with a battery in it. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, it's cool. There is a bunch of weird toys and stuff I just don't understand, but I don't think they're made for me.
No.
They're made for kids.
There's the trusty standbys. There's the water guns. There's the insert comic book character toys here. There's your G.I. Joes. There's your Ninja Turtles. They still make WWE toys. Yep. Those are huge.
Legos still reign supreme.
My Little Pony still huge. You get your thing. Yeah. And there's still gendered aisles.
And don't get me started on board games. Still got a lot of board games.
So many.
It's funny because there's been so many times where I'm like, man, I've got a few board games. I've got Scrabble. Classic. I've got Monopoly.
Right.
I've got some things.
So when I was younger, I just thought that there's there's staple board games you just have to have in your house. If you're an adult and you have a home, you have to have these 3 board games in your hall closet.
Wait, can I guess?
Yes.
Okay. Is Scrabble one of them?
Definitely.
Okay. Is Monopoly one?
Yes. Monopoly's number 1.
Number 1 is Monopoly, followed by Scrabble?
Followed by Scrabble.
Okay, what's coming in at number 3? Let me think. Categories?
Clue.
Yeah.
The top 3 classics.
The big 3.
The big 3. And then you got your like, okay, well, you can break them up to however you want because there's multiple games based on like categories or Balderdash or a Pictionary. Pictionary is definitely one of them.
Cranium. This is the modern one.
But man, I've been like thinking about like, we should have a game night. Just invite some friends over, just like Robby and Jake, and like just everyone bring their ladies over. We just have a nice little game night. Maybe crack a beer open or a bottle of wine. Just play some games.
Play some Monopoly.
It sounds, the romantic thought sounds nice. But in reality, playing games can kind of get boring.
It can. That's why you supplement it with substances, usually.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I would be down for a game night.
I would be too. I've been thinking about that a lot.
I mean, I like tabletop games. Like I like D&D and shit like that, and like Magic the Gathering. That stuff's always been fun to me. I've never been the type to ever really, really, really get into any of those things. Like, I've played a lot of D&D, but I don't know all the rules. I'm not like, well, actually, you roll your critical, whatever. I think I got that wrong. But, or like Magic. Like, I know the rules of how to play Magic the Gathering. I didn't play it as a kid.
Right.
I actually got into it when I was in my late 20s. I had some friends that knew how to play. So I was like, dude, I've always wanted to learn that. Can you show me? I went and bought a starter deck, bought a few booster packs, crafted a deck. Now I've got a shitload of Magic cards because it's fun. Yeah. But those Magic cards are sitting on a shelf in my hallway,
right?
And I walk by them, and every once in a while, I'm like, I want to play some Magic.
Yeah,
it sounds fun.
But there's so many people that do it. You can just get a little crew together.
Yeah.
But my thing is like board games, and like I brought it up to my wife, like, hey, how would you feel about doing a game night? She's like, that would be fun. I'm like, but I'm into like, I want to do like charades and like the fun stuff that it's group involvement. And it I don't know, I think it's therapeutic to do that kind of thing,
What's the most affordable board game? Charades?
Yeah. Do you have paper? Do you have a pen?
That's it. That's all you need.
Done. Are you fucking creative in the slightest?
Yeah. Oh man, charades is so fun though, because some people like get really heated about it.
Oh yeah.
Or or what's funny is when
we've experienced a couple of heated charade games.
Oh yeah. Or like when people think they're being left out. It's like all you have to do is holler out a guess. That's the whole point of the game.
Yeah.
Just talk.
Say something.
Yeah, I'd be down for a game night.
I think it'd be fun.
But whittling down the choices is probably the hardest part of the game.
Well, because you want everyone in the group to kind of want everyone to like want to play the game, because maybe there's some games that be like, dude, I fucking hate that game. I don't want to play that game.
Yeah.
I don't want to play live.
Yeah.
That happened to me and Diana. We went got an Airbnb with her friend and her friend's boyfriend. Stayed in the Airbnb, like what's in the middle of nowhere in Oklahoma. Like, what are we gonna do? Like, let's see if they have any games. They had a board game. Anyone who hosts an Airbnb, have some fucking board games there.
Have the big 3 at least.
At least the big 3. Yeah. But they had Life, which I would put in the top 10.
Yeah, I would say Life's in the... it cracks the top 10.
And I was so not looking forward to playing it. But then when you start playing it, you can start like making fun of the game, and like you start to see the cracks in it, or like, oh, that's kind of... that's a little iffy.
Yeah, totally.
But I'm sure they changed it since 1985 or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But, I ended up having a good time. And that's what kind of sparked this. We should do game nights, And then I started watching Jimmy Fallon clips. I've never watched an episode of Tonight Show, but he does all these like game night things. I'm like, that sounds fun. Why not? And it's probably super dad and super 40-year-old of me to want to do a game night, man.
Well, see, I've always wanted to teach you how to play Magic.
Yeah.
Or D&D, but those are a little like, that's not your pick up and play.
No.
You gotta do some YouTubing. You gotta do some rule reading.
Yeah, it's dense. Those games are a little dense.
I'll tell you what. Let's start it out simple. You come over Friday. We're gonna play some Hi-Ho Cheerio. We're gonna ease into the game night.
Dude, if the top 3, I'm gonna say the bottom 3, Hi-Ho Cheerio is definitely in the bottom ranks.
I'm gonna go
the worst.
Hi-Ho Cheerio
and the worst.
Ants in the Pants.
Yup.
There's got to be another.
Anything in that Milton Bradley, don't wake daddy, ants in the pants,
Yeah.
don't break the ice, all that shit's got to go.
Oh, don't break the ice.
Cooties. What's that game?
That's just Legos, dude.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah. Barrel of Monkeys. Anyone who listens to the show, if you've ever successfully actually played the game Barrel of Monkeys the way it's supposed to play, I will give you a t-shirt and a boy sticker, because I don't think anyone's ever played that
But
game
aren't you just lifting monkeys
out of a barrel.
and they're supposed to connect?
Yeah,
and
they're
don't you
supposed
like
to connect.
use the
But
monkey?
you're supposed to get them all.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. What about pickup sticks?
Played that quite a bit.
Hey, do you want to come over and maybe play a little 52 card pickup? Terrible.
Pickup sticks is like, I think my dad said it when we were kids. We were playing that game, and Dad's like, so you just make a mess and someone's got to pick it up with sticks?
Such a dad.
It's a dumb game.
Yeah, such a dad.
Dumb games.
All right, we're gonna do a game night. I think we're gonna do that. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out what game. If you have any suggestions, email us, boys@boyspodcast.com.
There you go. What's in your top 3 games, people? Let us know.
Maybe we should do that for our Sunday question this week.
Yeah, we should.
Bring that back.
Yeah, we'll bring it back around.
Because I love games.
I love games too.
And I love you.
I love you.
And I love all of you that have listened and made it this far in the episode. We appreciate you guys. You know what? We're going to get off here. I'm going to go do a little game shopping.
Ooh.
I'm going to go organize my games. I'm going to take inventory of the games I have.
Put them alphabetically, stack them.
Well, I like to stack them by box.
Oh, I always
smallness.
stack my
big
box
to
size.
small.
Big to small at
Yeah.
the top.
I mean, it would be silly to go small to big.
No, you're just gonna get toppled.
And it's kind of a game in itself.
That is.
Balance your games. Okay, we will see you next week. Thanks for listening.
Bye.